Okay, I'm going to go live on all the places. There's always a delay, and I'm live somewhere, but not everywhere yet. So bear with us while Instagram catches up. And okay, I think Instagram is just about caught up. Awesome. Okay. Welcome to MomCave Live. Let me play our little intro. Or not play our little intro. Oh, it's one of those days. Thank you, technology. So welcome to MomCave Live, where we may have lost our minds, but we haven't lost our senses of humor. I'm Jen from MomCave, and every week I have a guest with me. And this week I'm going to make her appear on the screen like magic. Ta-da!
Here I am.
There she is, from behind the curtain. Rachel Martin, who is otherwise known in all the places as Finding Joy, yes?
That is true. People actually think my name is Joy.
That's kind of cute. It would have been really cool if your name was Joy, but
it would have been. It would have been. But then I'm like, am I finding myself? But I guess that's the story.
Right.
Right.
So we're going to talk about your books, and we're going to talk about a bunch of things and hang out. And anybody who's here and wants to talk with us in the comments, just pop in. You had a post go viral a while back. We were just talking about how we were like in the OG mommy blogger years.
That's right.
And what was the title of that post about mean moms?
Oh, I don't even know. I think I probably titled it like I'm the mean mom and I'm okay with it. That sounds like what I would have titled it. So I'm going to just go with that. That's what I'm going to say it was.
I like
yes.
it. Yeah. Something along those lines. I'm a mean mom, and that's totally fine.
Right.
So we thought we would talk a little bit about that and what being a mean mom means and all of that. So hop in the comments and let us know why your kids think you're a mean mom. Rachel, what is the most crazy reason your children have ever called you a mean mom?
Probably it's always limits. It's always when I set a limit. Hands down. I can't think of any other time. It's when I say the two words and two letters. N-O.
That big word.
It is. It's a big word. And it's it's those limits. But I always tell my kids the limits are there because I love them.
Right.
Bottom line. Or I also love myself. I know I can't do everything.
Right.
So,
yeah. I asked my kids just like about an hour ago, we were having dinner, and I asked them why I was a mean mom. And they had countless reasons, really.
Nice. That's nice that they listed them.
Yeah. So there was no lack of reasons. But my 8-year-old's biggest reason was that when she gets home from school, the first thing I make her do is empty out her lunchbox before she can play.
Yes. Hallelujah to that, because I have one that if it doesn't get emptied on Monday morning, I'm like, dude, you have to be the one to open this, because opening it's like a thermos. It's bad. It's bad. And then like the whole dishwasher experiences the bad. So all morning I'm like, oh, I don't even want to open it. Right. So I'm with you there. I'm with you. And that's not mean. That's mean. That's like practical.
It's very practical. It's saving everybody a lot of headache down the road.
Right. You're saving, like when people come in, like that moment of awkwardness of what's that smell?
What is that smell in this house? I'm sure there are other smells in my house, but luckily it's not a lunchbox.
That is true. Yeah. That's true. That's so true.
Last Friday, my son, who's 13, he did not empty his lunchbox on Friday. And so last Sunday night, when he was getting ready to pack his lunch, he realized it. And it was so gratifying because he opened it up. And he was like, I can't do it. I can't do it, Mom. And I made him do it. And he was literally dry heaving and totally got it. And hopefully he will remember that in the future.
I think they do. I mean, I believe that's how they learn. I have this story of my oldest. So I used to live in Minnesota. I live in Nashville now, which everybody thinks is the coolest, it is cool. I'm going to say it's super cool. But when I lived in Minnesota and one of my oldest was young, it gets sub-zero there with wind chill, where I would tell my kids, like, if you go outside, put a smile on your face because it's going to freeze.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it was Kohl's, back in Kohl's prime, heyday shopping days. And I was there And I said, you need to put your coat on right now. And maybe she was 3, 4. She refused. I kept saying, you need to put your coat on. No. And it turned out being this tantrum kind of experience in Kohl's. So then I said, if you don't put your coat on, I will not let you put your coat on until you're in the car. So
that was clever.
Yes. So then, Kohl's, it was like moms like me, and also, bless them, 80-plus-year-old women that were in there. So as I'm taking my child out into the Sub-Zero, they see her without the coat. And I'm like, just trying to teach a lesson, just trying to teach a lesson. And I remember walking painfully slow because I knew she'd be fine. But after that, the rest of the winter and from that moment on, always a coat. Always a coat. Let me put my coat on. Never argued.
Well, it worked. See,
it did.
Being mom. What do you remember any time that you particularly thought your parents were mean? You had a mean mom?
Yeah. I mean, I love my parents a lot. Now, in every book that I write, I tell them how much I love them. I try to include them to pay back for that.
Right.
I don't remember the specifics always, but I feel like it was always linked to limits. Like I would want to do something. I would want to stay up late. I would want to do whatever it was. And when they would say no, I would push back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of childhood, is figuring out what's the limits. But that's where it was really my mom and I, we would just butt heads until the place where my dad would walk in, and he would always give us warning that he was coming. Like you could hear the footsteps or something moving. So I always knew, like, get your act together, get it together right now.
Yes.
So, yeah. He was good at that. He was a master at that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think in my family, I'm like the bad guy. I'm the bad cop more.
Nice.
Sometimes. I don't know. Yeah. So they definitely think I'm meaner than daddy.
Okay.
No about it. And I would love to hear some other people's reasons that they're mean. So you can let us know in the comments. I think the number one reason I'm a mean mom, and this one I actually feel guilty for this one.
Okay.
I will not let my family get a dog.
Oh, you're talking to someone that just got a dog. So I get it. I get it. Because my husband and I both the other day were like, what were we thinking? Mm-hmm. So I get it.
Yeah. Like I know my limits, as you say. I know my bandwidth. We travel a ton. A house is a disaster as it is. And we also rent our house. Like we live in a sort of ski area. So we rent our house out a lot on Airbnb. And it's hard enough keeping it clean. I can imagine adding a living, breathing canine to the chaos.
Well, I can imagine. And I did have that moment just 2 days ago of what were we thinking? Because we do like to travel. I mean, there's a lot of limits in there that it brings. I mean, it's unconditional love. So you could be the mean mom and somebody will still unconditionally love you because you give them food.
Yeah, the dog won't think you're mean.
Never.
No. Do you think that it's more different stages of childhood that this whole like you're a mean mommy thing happens?
I think I would say it's phases. To me, it's like when they're littler, it's over more ridiculous things. But as they get older, it's definitely because they want more freedom. And it's tough because I get it, because all of a sudden, most of history, you're 16, 17, 18, you're on your own. And now we're like, you guys, you're not on your own yet. You're kind of really an adult, but here, go do your homework and do all this stuff. And so I feel like there's that tension where they want the freedom. And then, they're stuck in a framework, the school system or whatever it is, where they don't really have it all yet.
Right. So like physically they've matured and out in the wild.
Oh, we hope so. Right.
Out in the wild, they could be, running around and having babies, but they'd also be fighting saber-toothed tigers. And we are keeping them from all of that.
Correct. And we provide food because they're all very excited, no matter what age, when I come back from the grocery store. Because inevitably Thursday, we always do grocery shopping on Sunday. Inevitably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I start to hear the rumblings of like, are you going to go to the store again? Like we've never gone before. Like it's actual almost panic. Like
they're starving.
Right. Exactly. They're just not choosing what's in the pantry.
Exactly. It's it might as well not exist if it's not something they want to eat.
Right. Takis.
Oh my goodness. My
Yeah.
daughter just discovered those. Yeah, I've taken to having to hide some things.
Oh,
Like,
we do too. We do
yeah,
too.
okay, good. I know I'm a mean mom. In my desk here in my working area, there's a drawer, and there are certain snacks in there that hopefully they'll find them eventually. But for now, they don't know where those are because otherwise
Oh,
they
we have,
know right
yeah,
away.
yeah, we have them hidden because otherwise come Monday, we start hearing, "Are you going to the grocery store
Yeah.
again?" Because it's like feeding frenzy
Hmm.
and then there's nothing left. So, yeah,
Right.
there's spots. There's spots.
So that's a reason that they think that we're mean, but in reality, we're really just like making sure that their food lasts all week.
That's so true. That's so true, or at least it's food that they want to have at the end of the week.
Right,
Yes.
right.
But now my kids, because they'll label everything. So like in the refrigerator, if somebody doesn't finish, if you don't label, it's a free for all.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
now you
totally.
can go in there and there's like post-it notes and different things so that people know that is that person's. And
Right.
actually I label stuff too. Like
Yeah.
mine don't touch.
But do they respect the label? I feel like I could write anything on there, and if the kid wants it, they're gonna take it.
There's a mutual respect for the label because
Good.
if there wasn't, they know, then their stuff is fair game.
Mm.
So there is a definite mutual respect. It's like the dividing line. It's like the little thing that you put on the line at the grocery store, the little
Yes.
between each other's thing. It's like that type of respect, or the
Mhm.
cones that you put in
Right.
traffic. The label, nobody messes with the label. It's pretty much law.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
one of
It's
your
good.
mean mom things. Um, is there anything that you do, like any mean mom move you've made that you didn't think before you had kids you would be that mom?
So my daughter Grace, she's 22 now. She loves to tell this story of like it's actually she tells it in such a way where I still feel bad, but I don't have a lot of I don't have patience for lines. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't have I will inevitably choose the wrong grocery line. I will
Yeah.
choose the wrong line in traffic. If I go to Starbucks, there'll be a line. And so my kids all know I have no patience. And there's this time when she was maybe, I mean, she was a teen. So she, by this point, knows I don't like lines and I don't
Mhm.
have patience. And we were in northern Minnesota and it was the summer and we're going back to the cabin. And I said, well, let's get Dairy Queen, a nice mom thing. So I go to this small town Dairy Queen and the line, it's ridiculous. I'm like, I can see that they're slow, they're behind. So I wait a little bit and I turned to them and I said, you know what, this line is too long. Let's just get ice cream at the grocery store.
Yeah.
To this day, she will tell you, can you believe that time? It broke my heart. She like
Oh.
dramatizes it. Like,
Oh.
but I mean, those are the things, like some of the little quote unquote mean things. They're not really that. I think the kids like them because it's like one of those things where they can laugh at like, oh, don't go to Dairy Queen. Mom won't wait.
Right. Now they have like a story and they commiserate
They
with each
do.
other about how mean
Right.
you
I forgot about it. And then she starts telling it. And everybody else in the car is like, oh, yeah, I remember that. It was a tragedy. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, I was planning on this blizzard and I had all these
are.
toppings
Mhm.
and I was ready to go. And nope, here you are, no patience. Just zip that car right out of there.
Well, it sounds like you must have been a pretty good mom overall if the most traumatizing thing that ever
Yeah,
happened to your 22-year-old is she didn't get Dairy Queen.
probably. I would like to think that. I would like to think that the boundaries that we set actually help the relationship is because they know we're that safe person. That
Mhm.
to me is the bottom line. Is it's not because trying to be mean, I'm trying to do that. It's just I tell them like I have X number of years experience on you guys and I love you so much that I know that this is the boundary.
Right, right. There's a lot, with my 13-year-old, there's a lot of the sort of like, "Yep, I know. I felt
Mhm.
exactly that same way. Nope, that doesn't change my mind."
Right. It's
And
rough though. It is rough because you look and oh, it's just I don't like that part. I don't because well, just as my own thing. I hate it when people are mad at me. So then I'm like, they
Mhm.
know that too. So they
Yeah,
know, like, so then I'm like, oh, they
I
kind of,
know.
feed that part. And I'm like, okay.
That's just one of the challenges that we have
Right.
to put up with people being mad at us. Little
Right.
people that live with us are often mad at
Oh,
us.
yes, they are. Oh, and it's crazy when, boy, I think back to when they were preschoolers and how mad they could be. Like it was the end of the world when it was bedtime.
Right.
Like now my kids are like, "Oh, can I just go to bed?"
Yeah.
But when they were little, boy,
How dare you
yeah,
ruin
yeah,
their lives?
right. To
Well,
get some sleep.
well, and now we would just kill for some sleep. Um,
Right.
can you tell everybody that's watching about the new book that you have out?
So before you and I went live, we were talking about how we've been online for a long time.
Mhm.
And I've been writing my site Finding Joy since like 2009. And
Mm.
about 2011, I started writing letters to moms because one time I wrote something and a mom wrote back, like, I love what you're writing, but I feel like I'm failing as a mom. And I was
Oh,
like, well, if she feels like she's failing, I often feel that way too. So I wrote a letter back, but and I was getting ready to send it and her email address was anonymous. So I ended up publishing it. And
oh,
that was the first thing that went really, really viral. And all these moms are like, oh my gosh, that's me too. I have a messy sink too. It was back when social media was perfect, like
oh,
every
yes.
filter.
The olden
And
days.
yeah, yeah. And
Interesting.
so I started writing letters. My website became letters like when they were little
Oh,
and
neat.
as I was going through different things or as I learned to like take care of my own self again. And what happened is I've been writing another book right now and my publisher was like, everybody's been asking for these letters. And I'm like, yes, they want them in book form because that's the number one request I get. And they're like, well, either we pay attention to the universe or we ignore it. So
Mhm.
we took all the letters and I put them all together in a book. And that's what it is. And I'm super, super proud of it. And I love it because it's a collection of like long-term motherhood moments that as a writer, I don't think I could go back and write with the same rawness about what
Right.
it's like to have a preschooler
A
as I
different
did
stage.
at that moment.
Yes. Oh,
So,
that's amazing.
yeah, I'm
You
super
guys have
honored.
to check it out. I will put the link to that in the description or the comments when we're offline. But where can they find it? It's on Amazon, of course.
It's on Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes& and Noble, and always like your local bookseller. I'm a big proponent of really supporting them too. So it's there and, yeah, Mom Enough right there.
Mom enough. You guys, we are all mom enough. Go,
Amen.
amen. Go continue being a mean mom. And when you feel bad about it, grab that book, Mom Enough. It was great talking to you, Rachel. I'm going to go be
Yeah.
mean and put kids to bed.
Yeah,
Very
well,
mean.
I actually joke about bedtime because I used to sing, it's the most wonderful time of the year song, the Christmas one. I
Yeah,
would sing it's the most wonderful time of the day in my head
for us.
sometimes because you just need a break.
Sometimes we just got to get to there. Okay.
Right.
Well, it's so good talking to you. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.